after 20 years, 10 days, and a few hours, it was time to come home. It really was. I didn't want to go back out to sea. So the personal aspect of it, I'd missed enough of my daughter's life that I wanted to be home for it. I didn't like the way the Navy was starting to head with certain policies and procedures. There's always going to be something you dislike, but I didn't like it, and I just didn't want to go back to that tempo again. I was ready for a change.
So did that decision come like after your last deployment? Was like there any big event that led you to deciding to leave the Navy, or was it just general, you've been in the Navy for so long, you wanted to change?
Just wanted my 20, I was done. 30 if you love it, 20 if you don't. A lot of folks will probably understand what that means. And in some aspects of it, because for us, I think all branches have something very similar. You have to be a certain rank to stay a certain amount of time. So they call it, not time and rate, excuse me, not perform to serve, like a high-year tenure type thing. So at one point in time, you could be in the Navy for 20 years and be an E5, a second-class petty officer. Well, they changed that. Their high-year tenure essentially was you couldn't be in past 10 years if you were not advanced to the rank of E6, because they were trying to get folks to promote and not stagnate. So they changed that to like 10 years. So I know a couple guys, I know one guy, he had to study his butt off to make E5, otherwise he was going to get out of the Navy. So he was able to do that. So E6, 20 years, then you had to retire. E7, I could have stayed up to 23 years, but then I would have had to make E8 or Senior Chief Petty Officer to stay to 27. And then I would have had to make Master Chief Petty Officer or E9 to stay to 30. And I didn't really have any desire to stay past 20, because when you start doing that, it actually starts detracting from companies to hire you on. Because for some Master Chiefs, if you've been in for 30 years, some companies look at it, you've just been in for so long, we don't know if we can change your mindset. Because it's completely different for what I do now. And I don't operate now, but I train people to operate again, a nuclear power plant in the civilian world, but it's a totally different mindset. So from that aspect also of didn't want to take my marketability away, I retired at 20.